Well, good morning. Is that a race fan you're saying? Well, yeah, it is. That's the old Honda Odyssey race fan. And today, we're going to be doing a little bit of tire rotation and suspension, what do you call it, checkout? How to check for worn suspension parts. I have went way past what I'm supposed to on my tire rotation. I'm a slacker, I can't help it. I've got at least 30 different things going on at once, all the time. So life never gets boring. First off, I want to show you roughly where to, jack up the car so you don't do any damage. On this one, I think it's got 4-leaf coil, so it's got lower control arms and all that. Let's see. This one, yeah. This one right here, this is a lower control arm. If you have 4-leaf, or I'm sorry, yeah, if you have 4-leaf, you won't have these generally. So there's your coil spring. If you put it underneath there, you're going to get sound support. And the reason why I put it there is because this sucker has a unibody that's just, it's unique to me. And half the time I'm not sure where to raise these things at. See all this? I mean, there's like, it's way up there. And I guess I could support it at a few different places, but I feel best going underneath good structure support. Now your front, I also went under on the lower control arm there. And this is also a good way you can check for worn suspension parts. And I'm going to show you. For example, here's your tire in front of you. If you want to see if you got a bad ball joint or not, place one hand on the top, one hand on the bottom. See if I can do this. And you move it. Or, good, you can't move it. There was no movement whenever I tried to wiggle this. You push in at the top and you pull at the bottom. There was no movement. Now, for tie rods, you go to the outer edges and you do the exact same thing. Make sure your steering column is locked, because if not, you'll be able to move it and your test won't be worth a darn. So, something like this. That's good. Now, simply, the order you take these off, to me, I don't think matters. I generally just go in a star pattern. Now, that's the way I put them on as well. They say torquing in a star pattern evens out the displacement of torque, blah, 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 blah. But anyway, I'll get these tires off. Now, the rear should be good, because these are just front wheel. It's a front wheel drive car, and all these do is generally follow. Now, the front, that's where your wear and tear is. As you can see, I've waited way too long. Like I say, I've been slacking, I've been busy. And I'm going to have to replace these before winter, because my tread depth indicator is right there. So, just to get them through summer, we'll go ahead and rotate them front to back, and they'll be absolutely fine. And I might have to keep them up there for winter, depending on how good these are. These look pretty good. I'll show you your tread depth indicator here in a second. All right, guys, one thing I forgot to mention. If you don't have one of these, this is an electric impact. This is a 1/2-inch drive. They're wonderful. This one came from the Harbor of Freights, and I like it. Works great. You don't have to have compressed air. It's 20 volt, rechargeable. Very, very, very good tool. However, if you don't have that, it's fine. Just don't lift your vehicle quite yet. Before you lift your vehicle, break your lug nuts loose. Do not take them off. I repeat, do not take them off. Just break them loose, because if you don't, this wheel is going to spin. Well, it should spin. There we go. It's going to spin rather easy with your wrench on the end of it, okay? And this is also a good time to look at your brakes. This one, yeah, not too bad. I mean, it's gonna make it. And front pads, By the way, this is the way that some of these parts stores say they do a 30-point inspection or whatever the heck they call it. Now, I want to show you why you should rotate your tires. These tires are the exact same age. They were put on the exact same time. However, due to an alignment issue, it looks like, see that, how that's smooth? This is the rear tire. This is the front. The tread depth indicators are right here, and they are almost flush. However, this inside, that's not so great. So we're definitely going to have to rotate them to the back, and I should have done this a long time ago. I don't even want to say the mileage past my rotation. But anyway, the front, or the rear ones, which are the new front ones, they look brand new. But if you rotate these and rotate them every other oil change or whatever your book recommends, you'll be fine, and you can get a lot more wear and tear out of them. This is my own doing by not rotating them. Now I'm going to have to replace those well before I replace these. So, I mean, I guess it makes it cheaper because I only got to buy 2, but, you know, I could buy 4 altogether and save altogether, you know. But that tread depth indicator, look at that. That's way down there. Just look at it. It's way down there. So, rotate your tires, guys and gals, and make sure you support your vehicle, not just with, you know, a jack. Make sure you have jack stands as well, because doing it without a jack stand is pretty daggone, it's not safe. But like I said, you can check out your front suspension parts while you're here. It looks like an oil filter. Yep, I bet it is. I haven't changed it yet. I'm slacking on that too. Maybe I'll do that real quick. But anyway, so I'm gonna just rotate front to back. Some people have theories where you can rotate front and cross the rears. I don't know why. I'm just rotating simple front to back. The tire goes the same direction. Some people believe if you change the direction of the tire, you can throw a belt. Me personally, I've always just rotated front to back, unless the customer said otherwise, you know. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to throw these back on here, and what I'm going to do is torque them. Well, I'm going to use my impact there, and all I'm going to do is snug them down, because if you don't really just hammer the crap out of it, you shouldn't meet over. You don't ever want to do that. One, you can actually warp your rotors. You pull this face inward, you warp this rotor if you over torque them. And I don't really want to over torque and ruin a rotor just for a simple tire rotation. I actually have right here a adjustable, there we go, just kick it, an adjustable torque bar, and it has numbers down there. That's magical. You loosen this and you just spin it around to wherever you want. You'll have to look up online what your torque specs are for your lug nuts. Every one of them is different. You know, usually the smaller the lug nut usually is the that usually indicates how much torque. If you have a 17 millimeter that's on a Volkswagen, like a green monster, it's probably 65 foot-pounds. That's a guess. Don't take my word for it. Look it up. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and rotate these, and we'll just see what she looks like. Might go racing today in the whole Honda race van. You never know. All right, so if you're unfamiliar with the torque bar and how it works, like I said, I snugged down all these lug nuts just real quick. Let the jack stands down, because if not, you're gonna spin these tires. Okay, now I've set it to the torque that I want right here. The best thing is to hold right here. Let's see if I can get that just right. All right, I usually hold there just to hold it so it doesn't strip. That means it's torqued good. Some may go further than others, but by me being able to turn it, I know that I didn't exceed the torque that I wanted. We'll run through one more time. Now, you do that for all 4 tires. Sorry about that. You do that for all 4 of these tires. You know, you just go through. Now I'm doing this one-handed for y'all, just so you know. 2. Now you noticed I did these all in a star pattern. I've been doing this for at least a week and a half. Just joking, I've been doing it for quite a while. And then I just go, because they should be torqued. They should be torqued. I just do this as a preventative. That way, so I know I did get all of them and go through it the regular way. So it's that simple, guys. We've rotated one side, you go to the other, you repeat the same process. If you use an extension like that right there, because your wheels may set in, just know you're going to lose a little bit of torque. So if you set it at 90 or what have you, you're going to lose a little bit. Probably not a whole heck of a lot, but just so you know. And see this one here, it's an alignment issue. This thing probably has the factory struts, I'm guessing. Just sheer guessing. Tell you what, I have factory dirt on these wheels. What the heck have I been doing? Lazy bones. Anyway, this one's not as bad, and that's, I mean, it's bad, don't get me wrong, but it don't have the inside wear as much as the other. It's got more outside wear, so it absolutely needs a front end alignment, which is, you know, easily remedied. I'm not personally probably going to do it. I'll probably just take it somewhere and have it done by a somewhat professional, but you do the same thing. I hope you can see this. Okay, grabbing right here, no movement, we're good. So that means my front end suspension parts in theory should be good, because I've checked for the ball joint down there and I've checked for the tie rod ends on the sides. Now if you get a movement, you can get underneath there and see what's moving. The rear, I mean, you can check these the exact same way. Some of these cars have 4-wheel suspension anymore, 4-wheel steering. I mean, all cars have 4-wheel suspension. What am I thinking? Anyway, you can do the exact same thing. Now you see how free this moves? If I didn't have my electric impact, this tire would be sitting on the ground, because you ain't going to break these loose unless you got some really good talent. But it's a good time to inspect your brakes. Just repeat the same thing that you did for the other side, and boom, you did your own tire rotation. You saved yourself a little money and you learned something. I like to work on my own things because honestly, there's a lot of people out there that won't tell you the truth, and a lot of comment. I mean, don't fall for the spring air on the tires. This is a true story. There was somebody once that come to the shop. It was about this time of year, and I'm not kidding you. She says, "Hey, while you guys are doing the tire rotation, do you mind putting some summer air in my tires? I'm still running on spring air." I thought she was joking, and I said, "Ma'am, yeah, we'll go ahead and do that." And I laughed, and she said, "No, I'm serious. I'm still running spring air." And I said, what are you talking about?" She had went to one of these shops that charged her an extra like 10 or 20 bucks. And this has been some years ago, but nonetheless, she went to a shop that charged her extra to put spring air in her tires. It was winter time, I think. And I don't know. Spring air was supposed to make them turn better or something. They spun her off on some line. But anyway, I'm just getting at this. Hopefully this is helping some of you guys. I'm doing all the work anyway at my house. I might as well try to help somebody. Maybe save some money, maybe learn a thing or two. If you don't learn a thing or two, I'm sorry, I try. But I kind of enjoy making these videos. So make sure you always use a jack stand. That's the #1 thing. Scissor jacks, I'm absolutely not a fan of. They're the ones that come with your car. It looks like a screwdriver can turn it or something. They're beyond junk in my opinion. But to each their own. Some people like them. I like to throw them in the trash. But you know, if you're going to do your own maintenance, you might as well get the tools, right? It's fairly easy. Nothing too hard. And if not, maybe you got a buddy down the road to let you borrow something. But if you're going to continue to do this kind of stuff, just simple maintenance, shoot, go ahead and get it. Why not? Because the money you save by taking it to somebody else, you done bought your tools. But we're going to repeat the same thing for this side. If you guys need any help, if you strip a lug nut, AutoZone makes this tool that goes over top of your lug nut. And what it'll do is it fits on here, and as you loosen it, it actually bites in. And they are pretty daggone handy. They also work on those ones that have a lock, or you need a key rather, to get the daggone lug nuts off. They work pretty well on that. If you have a GM that is a 3/4 inch and that silver cap has already come off, I promise you, if you take an 18mm and put on there, you'll get it off very easy. Don't even try to use the 3/4 or a 19. It's an 18mm, I promise you. It'll work great. So anyway, guys, that's the simple little tire rotation we've done. Hopefully it helped you guys, and you know, keep watching, it'll get better. This is me. This is Right Turn Garage TV. Thanks for watching.